This is John, Vince Fisher. I'm back with another reel. Uh, I've never owned one of these. I've never taken one of these apart. This is a Penn number 49 deep sea reel. It's not something, I might have a problem in there. But this is not a reel we see a whole lot on the East Coast. It's made for deep water, like reef fishing or artificial reef fishing, big species of fish like grouper or maybe snapper, some parts of the world, or shark. The narrow design of the reel is made so you don't have to, when you're cranked, you got a lot of line capacity. It's a big reel. It's like I don't know, maybe a 6/0 or 9/0 size reel, but you don't have to sit there and thumb your line back in. As you're cranking it, you just crank it. The line will find itself to the center. It was missing this piece right here when it came in. I put that on there. It cranks, but man, it's just got a rough spot in it. I may get it apart and find it. It's just not worth saving. But here we are. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Um, I've never owned one. I've never taken one apart. It's not something we would use a lot of here on the East Coast. But this is just a Penn reel. Well, it's actually a multiple reel wrench, handle wrench. You really need one kind of like these. At least need the Penn version of the wrench, which I have around here somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. This one's really in there. It doesn't want to come loose. This is a gummy reel. I mean, that's why I didn't even change the sheet out from the last little Zebco I just did. I said, you know what? It's gonna be messy, so we're just gonna go with it. Good day. This whole reel is gonna be up like this. These parts will get soaked. Ow. It's gummy. It's bent too. Look. Get that handle. I don't know if it's meant to be bent like that. I wouldn't think so. That's probably what it is. It's probably hitting something with the handle. We'll fix that. And straighten those out. Let's take this star drag off here. Okay. That one will only go back one way. All right. Got a whole bunch of screws to take off of it. Keep them separate. Super strong reel with all these posts in it like this. The disadvantage of this reel is it's very low speed. I would guess it's like a 2.5 to 1 or something like that. And a little slow for fish that would be running back at you. Something that just pulls, digs in and pulls like a big old grouper. I could see it being used for that. Got two levers. This one's for the drag on and off. And this is for the free spool on and off. And when I say drag on and off, I would say it'd be like the anti-reverse on and off. That's how I take it. But I could be wrong. It's my first one. We're going to find out. It's dirty. It looks like it's been sitting in somebody's garage or attic. I don't remember where I got this one, but I think it came from the West Coast. It's a little crusty, but I think it's going to clean up really nicely. I've got a rod to put it on. I'm probably going to try to sell it. I don't know who would buy it around here. It's not the kind of fishing we do on these parts. Look, this line is like 50, 80-pound test on it. We're going to get rid of it. It's like trying to cut wire. It's crazy. It just doesn't even want to cut. Never seen fishing line that big on a reel this size. Then it's had some normal size line on it. It looks like 20-pound test. The other stuff is like 50 or 80. We'll come back to this. This lever operates that. This lever operates that. It's just like a regular old free spool lever. We got to get this ring off of here. The way I found to do is down here near where the stand is. You gotta be careful. You don't want to cut yourself. Just put a razor knife in and just lightly pop that ring off there without damaging the bake light. We'll get the outer one off in just a second. Part of the drag. Let's take the 4. We can go ahead and take that one back. That's loose. I happen to have that in stock. I was very lucky. It was missing that. Let's take the 4 bridge screws out of it. Yeah, it's like I said, this is not a reel I'm gonna keep, I don't think, for my collection. It's not perfect and beautiful. It's not in a box. And I'm not going to use it. So it doesn't kind of meet any of the criteria I would keep a reel for. But it's a nice reel, and it's going to make somebody a nice little conversation piece. Or hey, there might be somebody out there that does a lot of wreck fishing and wants something that they can fish deep with. All right, let's pay attention. I have a feeling this is going to kind of go wild and fast. That fell out. See why I didn't bother to change the. Come back to that. Here's your bridge, which is pretty normal. Trying not to lose parts here. This little spring goes in there for that. This is going to be fun to put back together. I can tell you that right now. It'll be real exciting. It comes off. Got the 2 springs. Go ahead and slide the pinion out of the yoke. Just look at the nastiness. Not much love given to this reel over the years. It looks like both these handles and eccentrics are exactly the same. And you see how they go in there. That spring may be a little different than that spring. So pay close attention. All this stuff just needs to be cleaned up. I don't know. I think the springs are the same. Both screws are the same. Both levers are the same part number. They're both for 49. Yeah, I think they're the same. So that's the exception of the ring here, that's the whole gear side. Let's go down here where if I do chip it, it's not noticeable. Down here near the stand. Okay, we got a big reel here and a small tray. We'll do what we can with it. Let's do the drag. Pretty simple. We got the tube or the sleeve. It's in there. Golly, look at the nastiness. Come on, take a bath. Come on. Come on. Come on. I don't know if this has HT100s or not. I don't know if I'm going to bother to upgrade it. It's got the original drag in. I think I'll just leave it alone. So this right here from the handle is beat up. Take a file. This happens on Penn reels. It gets real hard to get the main gear off of it. Just file that mushroom off of there on that flat. It'll be like it on both sides. Just file that off. Just like that. See how it slid right off of there. See? This gear down here, or this drag washer down here, you have to just kind of real carefully pry it up. And once you get it up, it comes off. Going a little fast here, sorry. We'll come back to that. I gotta knock a pin out of that. This is several pieces. It has brass drag washers. So you got a fiber washer, then it goes into, oh, looky there, it's cracked. Yeah. So I'm going to dig around in my box and find some drag washers for it. Yeah. That one's cracked. Can't use that. Well, that's a bummer, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Even if I have to order one, it's not the end of the world. There's a pin. It's small. I have to get the right size punch for it. Well, 1/8 punch, I think it is. Come on. Just put it over top of one of the holes on your block. Line the pin up. And then just right. That's tight. Good day. You can leave the pin in it like that. That just needs a good damn cleaning. That's that. There's nothing to this side. We're going to take it apart and clean it. Here's your, they call it, Penn calls this a bearing, I call this a bearing. It's nothing but a bushing with a spring. Okay. Then you just got a whole bunch of screws to take out. Keep the screws separate. This reel, the whole reel can be cleaned in ultrasonic. There's nothing that will hurt this reel to clean it all in ultrasonic. I don't have any hand scrubbing to do this reel. It's all going to go. So it's going to take me a couple hours probably to, you're talking about, you know, a pile of parts at like 10 minutes a piece. It'll take a little while. So once I get past this tear down part, I will shut the camera off and go start running parts. You can even run the chrome in the ultrasonic. It doesn't hurt the chrome. I keep the screws separate from side to side. They are slightly different in length. Maybe on some reels, maybe not on this one. Let's see where I dropped my handle screw over in there. I don't want to lose that. And the last thing is the stand. It looks like the stand is made for screws. So you can use a rod clamp on it. This one did not come with its rod clamp. Okay, so that's just nasty altogether. You look at this thing, and I want you to see it when I get through cleaning it. It's going to look like brand new. And then, like I said, I'm going to have to find the drag washers. I just had my Penn conventional box down, putting parts away. I probably have some in there. I might even have some laying out here. All right, what a mess. There it is. I'm going to clean it up. I'll be back. It's going to look good. This is John. I'm back. I did my best with it. That's my disclaimer. I did my best with it. It's the handles pretty bent up. Tried straightening it. I think I made it worse. I'm sure I can find another handle. These bars pretty corroded. Same way with the rings. But here's my thing. I can make a really good functional reel out of this. And I'm going to. So, with that said, let's do this. Fix it. Get a rag out of here. It's chilly down here all of a sudden. It wasn't as cold down here earlier today when I was down here. Kind of frigid. I got a lot of grease on this reel, or oil, I mean, to shine it up again. It was pretty dull looking. Let's lubricate where the bearing goes in at. These reels don't get cast. This is not a reel you're going to cast. This bait clicker was really messed up. I didn't notice that until I started cleaning the reel. I started getting a lot of brass out of here. I don't think I've ever seen one look like that. You know, I get reels in all the time, and it just makes me shake my head. What in the world did somebody do to this reel? It looks like the bait clicker was on when a big fish took a run, and it just smoked it. I don't have what I need to change that out today, so we're going to have to go with what I got. The reel is going to be functional. We'll see how loud the clicker is when I get it on. Okay, the two short screws go in the stands. And if I sound like I'm shaking, I am. It got cold down here. I was down here a couple hours ago. It wasn't that bad. I just got back down here and I'm just chilled. I don't know what it is. Had breakfast, feel great. I'm not sick or anything. It's just chilly. We're going to get through this thing. Hopefully my audio still working with mic placement and stuff, so we'll see. Now here comes the balancing act. It's always a balancing act putting these stands on. What I do is I build whole entire palm side of the wheel. Easiest way to do this is to grease holes, stands on the posts, and just thread them in. You tighten them up later. They don't have to be super tight. Just snug them up. All the way around it. Dab of grease. Keep those screws from ever being stuck. Now these weren't stuck. They were in pretty decent shape. You can get new posts and you can get new rings for this reel. I'm pretty sure of it. They're made out of stainless. They're not the chrome plated brass, which probably isn't a bad thing. I'm pretty sure you can still get this stand too. Okay, so this side of the reel is pretty much done. We'll put some grease into this end of the posts in the stand. Okay. We'll go ahead, pull the side of the spool. Spool cleaned up really nice. Put it in there. Now we can kind of set that aside for a little bit because we get to play with this. This is going to be a mess. I'm not going to lie. I'm not too crazy about having to get these springs and stuff back in this side, but we'll figure it out. Cleaned up really nice. Slight crack in it right there. That's pretty typical on Penn reels. It doesn't cause a problem with the operation of the reel. We'll go ahead and put this bushing or bearing back in there. Penn calls it a bearing. I guess if something bears weight, it's a bearing. I would call it a bushing. But it's just me. Got two of these centrics. They go in right here. Springs will go a little dab of grease on them. Hook them in that hole. That'll kind of help. This one, there are two different springs, and you can't get them wrong. The way the Penn did this. This one goes in right here. I'll just line that spring up where it goes between those two little pegs. And you're going to have to take one of the handles, levers, put it on there backwards, spin it just a little bit, and then put the lever on. Oh, can't do that. Can't do that. I got to put the ring on it first. Okay, I got a hold of it here. I think I got a grip on it. Got that. So let's try this again. Get that just like that. Put that on there. We'll wipe all that excess grease off in just a minute. That screw in there. Tighten it down. Okay. Now we got to do the same thing to this side. Little dab of grease on the spring will help everything kind of stay in place. I'm gonna get just a little dab of grease into that hole so I don't have to do that later. And it'll go in. Okay. I went the wrong way with it. Hold on. Got to come down here, come around like that. Hold that in place. Gosh almighty. That going. All right. We are making progress. Now, the next big challenge. I've never built one of these before. I can put this ring on last. I don't have to have it on. It is getting, okay, I know where the bridge goes. To assemble this real anti-reverse dog is in here like this. Maybe it's out here like this. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this spring rides in here. So I'm going to put a little grease in there. Spring is going to go this. Long end goes up there like that. That's going to be fun to get together on that. We'll put that in a little bit later. I'm going to fall. It's going to fall on. We'll lose it. Okay, let's hang on for a second. Don't get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and put this together. Put some wool on it. Pull down in here. This is your bridge and sleeve, handle sleeve. You can put the pin in a couple different ways. I'm just going to use a pair of pliers and just push it in. All you got to do, push a line or something there. Okay. This drag washer goes in first. I'm going to try something here, as I didn't have the correct drag washers in stock for this particular reel. So what I did have is a set for 330 and they're HT. So I'm going to put 2 of those in there, maybe just one. I don't know. HT 100s is what I was trying to get out of my mouth and my brain stopped. I have no idea what the gear ratio is of this reel. Probably should look that up for you. Okay, that's down. They had these 2 washers in there first, and but the problem I got with this is these are really thick washers, and I have learned from my experiences with Penn reels, if you start putting some really thick washers in, you start having some really thick problems. I'm going to try 2 of them and we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave this one as is. Keep picking up dog hairs and all kinds of stuff here. But that's not right. That's not close to being right. I'm not saying it won't work, but it's not close to being right. What in the devil, John? I measured those. They were really close in size. Well, these are small. It's the inside hole is different. I'm not going to have anything that's going to match that up. I'm only going to use one of these. Will not use this one. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Then it will get this drag plate, and we'll go with this drag washer. It's still in good shape. We'll get the eared washer, and we'll go with this drag washer. And it will work fine. I can't see where to go. And then your press plate is last. I think I could put, no, that won't go in there. So this wavy washer needs to go ahead and go on there. That unfortunately just can't be used. Yoke. Freeze the yoke up. This is going to be fun. Y'all might see me get a little frustrated putting this one together. See what happens. Yoke. Put the pinion in the yoke and grease the pinion. Watch, it'll just pop together like nothing, like butter. But I know these reels well enough to know this is different, just enough different where it's going to frustrate me a little bit trying to get it in there. Springs go in first. Keep the springs kind of sitting there. I'll put just a little bit of grease on them. Yeah. So go in first. It has to kind of sit there. You got your jack plate goes up in here. Jack plate go in like this. And spin around, and it's not happening because these are always a pain to get into these reels, and even worse so on this reel. There we go. Jack plate is in. That spring decided it didn't want to stay in its place. Put that in there. Then we have to slide this up under the jack plate, both sides. Watch the jack plate just fall out. Yeah, because it was so hard to get in there. Yeah, why not? Okay. Fun stuff. I might have to put that in after I get this. Let's try this. Let's just try something. And I got the opinion on there wrong because I'm a dummy. Oh my gosh, you kidding me? Spring. I want to stay. I had the opinion on upside down because life's hard sometimes. It's even harder if you're stupid. All right, let's get that on there. Let's come around with this. The spring can go in. It sits over top of that gear. And this will have to go in like, what am I doing here? This will have to come in like this. Rotate this around. And then I'm going to have to line that yoke, or that, might have got it the first time through. Look at that. Not the right screwdriver, but it'll get me started. Okay. Okay. Whew. Your screws with no threads all the way up go where the springs are. It's going to get these screws started. I'm not going to run them down tight yet. So there again, screw with no threads all the way up goes into the springs. If you don't do it right, the springs will hang up on the threads. Then you got the screw with the threads all the way up, goes into the bottom two holes. Man, I can't believe I got that day. That's incredible. That's really incredible. We'll see if it works. That's probably the hardest part of building this reel right there, is getting that anti-reverse dog in there. That's working. Let's see if it actually anti-reverses. Look at that. Look at that. Now, wouldn't hurt to put a little dab of grease right there, because that's going to be contacting that quite a bit. Okay. All right. We can build the rest of the reel now. I like this reel. It's cooperating. I like it when they cooperate. Okay. We'll wipe all this down. I know it's a big mess. You get two short screws. Let's lay this out. Get long, 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 short, and short. Two short screws go into the stand. Let's bring this whole thing over here. Get that lined up with the drive, the pinion. And I might have spoke too soon. This might be the hardest part of the reel right here. Get one screw started, all the rest of them will fall into place. Okay, we got one. Got two. Let's hit the holes that we know. Okay. Just get them all loosely started. Some of them are going to line up easy. Some are going to be a little bit of a fight. Here, we'll go ahead and tighten this one down. Flip that lever. The beast of a reel. Beast of a reel. Didn't turn out horrible. It's not a shelf riding beauty queen. I'm go ahead and throw that out there. But is a functional fishing reel. We'll make sure that drag works properly, of course. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't. Around, tighten them all up. Don't butterfly your screws. Take your time. These posts, these rings, are the rigidity of the reel. That's what makes it strong. Go ahead and put your sleeve in. Then grease that up. And you're going to put your hard drag on. Doesn't want to seem to cooperate there. I'm going to have to hold that with the handle. Tighten the drag down. It's working. Okay. We're going to put the handle nut on. It was tight coming off. It's going to be tight going on. It's just the way it is. I have a wrench here somewhere. It got buried, and all the tools I had to use to take this thing apart and try to straighten that handle. I had a lot of tools out trying to do that. Like I said, I just wasn't successful, unfortunately. It's not pretty. You can get another handle for this. I'm sure eBay has them. Order a brand new style handle, which would not look as good on this reel. I like that orange, pinkish, or salmon color. I think it looks good on it. And you got this one last little screw. Goes in right there. That holds the handle nut locked into the position. When you tighten the handle nut down, make sure one of those notches lines up where the screw hole is. You don't have to kill the torque on this thing. It doesn't have to be super duper tight. I hear the spool hitting the side plates already. That's way loose. So you got to tighten this down. It's hitting just a little bit. The spool shaft is bent just a hair. That's what it is. That's not right. I believe this is the wrong. I may have to order the right one for this thing. I believe it's supposed to be longer. All the pin parts I got laying around, I don't have the right one. I don't think it's reaching. I don't think it's reaching the spools with the problem. It's supposed to be longer. That's interesting, isn't it? Well, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and order the right one. I can fix it without having to take the reel back apart. That's why the spool is hitting the sides, is the spool's not going all the way into, still not adjusted right. But that's what's wrong with it. So I'll go ahead and order that piece and have the right one here, and that will get rid of all that grinding that's going on in this thing. As you can see, the spool is just, it's whipping around wherever it wants to go. So this side's wrong. There's your anti-reverse on. See how the drag works. Oh yeah. We're not going to have to fool with that. That's good. It's because of this. All of it's because of this part right here. So there you go, folks. I got to order a part. I'll get on Mystic right now and get that part on the way. I may do a follow-up to this video to show I got it fixed. It really sucks I don't have that piece here, but it's apparently just for this reel. So I've got a lot of spare parts around here, and none of them fit this thing just right. So engaged in gear, it's not horrible, but it's not. You can't fish with that. And when you take it out of gear, it's not going to free because that's not long enough to put pressure against it that way. This is in too far, and it won't go into free spool. So that's going to fix both of those problems. Well, anyway, this is John, Bench Fisherman. Almost fixed it. One part will do it. Anyway, if you like the video, go ahead and like it, and please subscribe to the channel. Got a lot of cool reels coming up. I got 99 more over here. I just finished one. Anyway, look forward to seeing you at the next video. It's John, Bench Fisherman. This is John. I'm back. I wanted to add on to this video because I didn't get this reel right. See, that's not right. And the problem is this part right here. I tried to put one in that I had in stock. It's the wrong one. I'm going to show you. Got the right centerpiece. I ordered this one. This is the right one for the reel from Mystic Parts. Highly recommend Mystic for your Penn reel parts. I'm not sponsored by them, but they never do me wrong. Let's see. Mystic. That's who I get my Penn parts from. Anyway, this, as you can tell, is much different than that. So that would be where the problem was from. We're going to put this in there, and we're going to make this reel go. Probably going to have to loosen this side way up. That was the whole problem with this reel. It came in missing that part, so I did my best, you know. Took one and made it work. It might be a little rough to get that on there. I have to go to a socket. We got a socket here. Is that the right socket? That's not the right. Yeah, that's the right socket. There we go. Let's oil it up. Lucas oil is fine for a Penn reel. Clearances are pretty loose on these reels. That one might not. That one might not. We have to do some work there. So I'll put that over here in my little tray of parts, and let's work on that puller right there. May not come loose. Yeah, just gonna have to get my oil up in there where I can. Probably right here. It's kind of odd. Anyway, let's get the spool adjusted. Right there. Now, look at that. Look how smooth that is. Free spool. Here. Drag off so it will actually wind in reverse, or you can put it to where it's got the instant anti-reverse. So there it is, folks. It's fixed now. That's my first Penn 49 I've ever had. Let's see how the bait clipper works. Yeah, it's a little ragged, but it works. It'll be fine. So anyway, once again, this is John, the Vintage Fisherman. I appreciate you watching, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel. See some more videos coming out. I got a bunch of stuff to do. In fact, I got some more pins. I'll prelude you to that. I've got 4 of these 209s to do, and then when I get done with the 4 209s, I've got 4 of these 109s to do. So I got plenty of pins sitting around here. Anyway, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna throw in a picture of this on a really pretty old rod when I get upstairs to my fishing room, and I will see you on the next video.